Hey everyone, this is Talks with Kenny, and here we'll be discussing why this governor believes a recession is coming. So, in this article, we'll be discussing a GOP governor says recession is coming. Treasury Secretary has misled America and should be fired. I agree completely. Janet Yellen should be fired, right? Inflation is transitory. Anybody with a brain knew that inflation wasn't transitory, because even before, when passing the stimulus checks, everyone was warning, hey, we shouldn't do this again because this will cause inflation. Did Biden administration listen? No, they had to pass their own stimulus check too, because they can't let Trump have this one. No. Let's get into this article. New Hampshire Governor Chris Sununu, I hope I didn't pronounce that wrong, predicts that a recession is coming and blasted Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, claiming she completely misled America and should be fired. Sununu, who made the remark during an interview on CNN's State of the Union on Sunday, a recession is coming. You cannot add $5 trillion to Americans' balance sheet and just hope it goes away. A recession is coming. You cannot add $5 trillion to the American balance sheet and just hope it goes away. The recession is coming. Fed and I think has known this for a while. They kind of ignored it, the governor told CNN host Jack Taper. And I want to kind of talk into this a little bit. That the $5 trillion was the Biden administration. They passed a bipartisan infrastructure. And I do believe the recession is coming. The economy shrunk quarter one. Quarter two just wrapped up. We're heading into quarter three. And I believe we're already living into a recession. A recession is like being boiled alive. That don't sound off. Like temperature changes, you don't recognize it. It's like a slow burn to the top until eventually you realize, oh my God, it's hot. I think a recession is going to happen before next year. Biden's administration haven't really done anything differently. They just keep pandering. They keep misdirecting. They keep casting blame on everyone but themselves. You're in the midst of adversity. Don't do anything that will make it worse. And like this governor said, they just kind of ignore it. Like, oh, nothing to see here. There's a fire behind me. Nothing to see here. And that was Yellen with the whole transitory. And I remember when people criticized her before, when Jen Psaki was press secretary, people were they were questioning Yellen. She was like, oh, well, y'all shouldn't be asking these questions. You should be appreciated that she's the first woman. I don't care about her sex. I'm caring about the supposed expert. If she's giving accurate information. She didn't. They should have been easing us into the right rates where we needed to go over a year ago. You have a Treasury Secretary who is saying, oh, it's not inevitable. Well, of course it's inevitable. You don't need 4 years of economics to know that when you add $5 trillion, there have to be some outcome. And unfortunately, the outcome is high gas prices, high housing pricing. They should have been easing us into the right rates and where we need to go over a year ago. They have a Treasury Secretary who is saying, oh, it's not inevitable. Well, of course it is inevitable. You don't need a 4-year degree in economics to know when you add $5 trillion, there has to be some outcome. And unfortunately, the outcome is high gas prices, high housing prices, and the price of a taco is getting unbearable for some folks. And it hits middle and lower class income families very, very hard. And that's just going to be an issue going forward, Senate added. The New Hampshire Republican, who also asked about his ideas to improve the situation, his key recommendation was to terminate Yellen from her role as Treasury Secretary. And the Fed was the worst thing that ever happened to us, honestly, in the United States. Like, imagine. It's like us. Like when we have debt, we have to pay it off, right? If you have a $5,000 credit card balance and you decide to just ignore it, the interest rate comes smack you in the short term, it may feel good to ignore that bill, but then when the debt collector comes due, it's an even bigger mess than when you first ignored it. It's like ignoring the elephant in the room. Eventually, you're gonna get crushed, and that's what they try to do here. It's not a good strategy, and honestly, it's just. All they're worrying about is perception, deflecting, trying to make everything seem, oh, everything's going okay. We the experts know what's going on. Clearly you don't. And then they want to get mad when people don't trust them anymore. People's trust in the politicians, in science experts, in the media is in an all-time low right now. All-time low. I'd rather go and look in the information myself than to hear it from some person on corporate media right now, honestly. First, I would fire the Treasury Secretary. I think she completely misled America. And that's a video. Last month, Yellen appeared on ABC This Week with George Stephanopoulos, claiming that inflation is at an unacceptable high level, but that a recession might not be around the corner. Bad luck. I expect the economy to slow, Yellen said. It has been growing at a very rapid rate. As the labor market has recovered, we would have reached full employment. It's natural now that we expect a transition to steady and stable growth, but I don't think a recession is all inevitable. Inflation hit a 40-year high in May. Gas prices has also hurt Americans as prices have soared to record levels this year and has doubled over the cost per gallon just 2 years ago. Tesla CEO Elon Musk has recently spoken out with his prediction that a recession is coming, and he made the comments during an appearance at a Quater Economic Forum in June. A recession is inevitable at some point. As to whether there is a recession in the near term, that's more likely than not. It is not a certainty, but it appears more likely than not, Musk says. I trust Musk more than I trust this lady, because one thing about CEOs I notice, CEOs, they think more long term than, like, let's say me as a consumer, right? I could probably think maybe a month, 2 months in advance, but these dudes, they have to think in the future because they're always trying to get more market share. They're always competing against another company, so they think more in the long term. And if he's seeing a recession coming, he said a recession is inevitable. It's just a matter of when, and I already feel it. Like, if I think it's already happening now, just imagine where these guys think it's going. And Elon Musk is not the only one who thinks this way. I think Chase's CEO also said the same thing, that he sees a recession coming soon. If you don't believe me, look it up. If you want to trust these Yellen people, who she was already wrong before, it's transitory. She was already wrong before. To me, she has to earn her trust back. Experts can't keep being wrong on issues over and over and over again and then expect people like me to continue trusting them and believing them. No, we rather figure it out for ourselves. This is why I'm do for self. Do for yourself. Get the information for yourself. Get it directly from source. Look with your eyes. See with your eyes. Don't trust what these people tell you, because these people tell you deny what you see with your eyes. Inflation is transitory. No, this is not permanent. And then you're getting smacked over the coals with gas prices, food shortages, the cost of food is going up. Like, it's crazy. He's like, hey, look over there, and then buying power is dwindling out of your pocket. Musk's assessment stands in contrast with Biden administration's view that said the nation is not necessarily expected to face a recession. Well, you guys didn't expect to face a lot of things, and you guys are messing up now. Former Obama administration economics advisor Larry Summers also recently warned that an array of economic signs are pointing to a recession within the next 2 years. I don't like reporting on bad news like that, but that's the reality of the situation we face now. And 2022, this year, November, is a big, I think this is a turning point in U.S. history, honestly, because depending on how we vote, or depending on where America goes, we either make it worse or we actually start trying to stabilize this thing, because we can't keep going on with this administration. I'm sorry. Biden got to be a lame duck president, because he's worse than Carter. If you're a Biden supporter, hey, I'm sorry. I know you were misled, but this is on you guys too. Like, I don't hold no excuses for anybody. Like, you guys should have done the research. You trust these experts that always 60% wrong on whatever they say out of their mouths, and you decided to trust them, and look where they got you. You made this man right here the worst president since Jimmy Carter. No, not since Jimmy Carter. Worse than Jimmy Carter. He's the most popular president in U.S. history. Imagine that. And he's bad for you. He was bad for you. Look at the approval ratings. He's the lowest approval rating. How are you the most popular president in U.S. history, and you have the lowest approval ratings out of any of the last 3 presidents? That's amazing. That's honestly amazing. Hey guys, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.